Hey guys, Loyal Logic coming at you with another video. And what I'd like to talk about today is the developments in the Kavanaugh situation with Ford. It's disgusting. Obviously, if you're watching this, you already know what's going on, and it's horrible. It's honestly horrible. Anybody that watched that testimony of Ford obviously knew that she didn't write the opening statement, and obviously she fumbled a lot. In my opinion, she also perjured herself because she talked about the renovations on her home being about, the extra door because of Kavanaugh and claustrophobia. Well, it turns out the permits were applied in 2008, and she has someone living there, Google interns, of course. So the question comes, well, why would you have someone living there that you don't know? If you don't trust people or you have claustrophobia, why would you rent out some person? It makes no sense. Kavanaugh's testimony was heartfelt. It was very sad to see that man have to sit there and defend his honor. And he said it best, it's a national disgrace. These hearings used to be about confirming somebody to the highest court of the land because of the achievements they had in their life, following the rule of law, and being a good, decent person. Yes, there's been times where people haven't got through, but it's very rare because usually the president picks a very qualified person. I just don't know where we go from here. I do believe this is, unfortunately, the start of a civil war. Not an actual violent civil war, but a cold civil war, where ideologies will be clashing for years to come. Yes, it's been bad in the years past, but I believe this is a new age. Because it makes no sense why any rational person would even think that Kavanaugh would be capable of something like this. There's nobody that believes her either, and that's the weird thing. What I mean by that is there's nobody that she said was there, as I said in my past video, that her story. I mean, you have to have someone say, hey, I was there, and it would work. You know, it makes sense. If someone says, hey, I was there with her, yes, I was there, then, yeah, we could maybe possibly believe something happened. But not one person that she named said they were there. But the Democrats don't care. And that's how you know this is a sham. And Lindsey Graham even said it to him. If they wanted an FBI investigation at the beginning, they could have came to them when they had the letter. They knew what they were doing. This is well orchestrated. I actually believe now more than ever that she knows what she's doing. She is a con artist. She is a globalist elitist. I do believe possibly even someone from Google came to her knowing, because when she says Google interns, you can see that the lawyer's kind of like, because they know. They know what's going on. She was approached. She even could have had some type of sexual assault and maybe told somebody, and somehow they figured out, okay, well, you went to school near Kavanaugh, we can use you. So that's the thing, is that this is well orchestrated, I can tell. The sheer fact that they praise this woman as a hero shows you right away. It shows you what their aim is. Their aim is not justice. Their aim is search and destroy, as Lindsey Graham said. And same with Kavanaugh. He said it as well. It has nothing to do with having the right person on the court. They want their person on the court, and they don't even care if the person's qualified. They could put a rhinoceros on there for all they care. They really do not understand what is going on in this country. They are up in the clouds, but also they're pushing the globalist elitist agenda. It's obvious. And anybody that sits there and is like, oh no, he's guilty, then provide the evidence. You can't just say because a woman accuses somebody, they're automatically guilty. This makes no sense. Because if that's the case, I can go just pay a woman right now to go accuse somebody. And then they're guilty. It doesn't matter that I paid them. It only matters if they accuse them in your world as a liberal. And that's what's scary. These people don't understand what they are doing. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot. You know how many people are going to come out against liberals and Democrats now? It's going to get really bad for these people. They don't get it. You know, I've noticed this in the last couple of years too, is that when liberals and globalist elitists do something, it shoots themselves in the foot. It's like the nuclear rule in the the Senate. It used to be 60 votes, I believe 60, and you would have to get the Supreme Court or anybody being nominated to a position through. Now, because what they did last time, the liberals, because the Republicans weren't having any of it. Some of the appointees they were trying to appoint were not qualified. They were obvious shills. So they made it 51 votes. So obviously, I believe 51 votes. So it shows you what's happening, folks. They're shooting themselves in the foot. That's why I'm really not worried. I do believe Trump opening up the FBI investigation was a good move, but he had no choice. And I do believe he's going to keep a close eye on it. Yes, he can't intervene, but I do believe he brought people in and said, listen, this is the game plan. We're doing a week. I want you to look into everything, all the allegations that are current, the 3. We obviously know the Ramirez one is bullshit. We obviously know that the Ford one is bullshit. And the Michael Avenatti one, I mean, come on. You couldn't even get the senators to reply to you, Michael. So I don't even know what you're doing. I mean, it's pretty sad when you're not getting people that are quote-unquote on your side to reply to you. Why? Because they know you are a con job. You are the type of person that uses your confidence to con people out of things. You don't care about the rule of law, justice, and the truth. You don't. You want to line your pockets with money. And it's evident with the way you've treated Stormy Daniels. You don't even talk about her anymore. And when you do, it's just to push your agenda as Stormy's the victim, this person's the victim. So you've moved on because you've ringed her for all she's worth, and now you've left her out there to dry. You really don't care, and that's why they don't want to deal with you, Michael. It's not that they don't want to believe you, but they can't believe you because you've been shown to be a con artist and a scam artist, and you're a horrible human being, and it's obvious. And what's weird to me is you don't see it. It's really sad when the Democrats are seeing you for the shill that you are, but you don't see yourself that way. It's obvious. Go look at some of your replies on your Twitter. I mean, I don't know if you are, but no one's buying your shit, man. The only one that is people that aren't even involved in the political system. I mean, I went and looked at his Twitter, and you see people from Spain. Okay, so cool. People from Spain agree with you, but they're not going to influence anything here in the United States. So that's good for you, man. You got supporters all over the world. That doesn't matter here in the United States. And that's the problem with these globalists. They think because they have support all over the world that somehow they're right. That doesn't matter and never has. Globalists have lost. Look at the UN speech. I did a video on that, my last one. Go watch it. He showed, Trump did, that we are done. It's America first, but respect to other nations. And we will work with other nations. And we will work well with other nations. Before, we just, whatever, we didn't care. We acted like we cared. It's one thing to go, whatever, here's some stuff. That's not caring. That's just get out of my way. I want to do what I want to do. But if you truly care, you're going to work with the nation. You're going to look at what's going on. You're going to give them aid. You're going to take away aid, maybe divert it. You're going to help them on all levels, not just giving them stuff and walking away. That's not helping. That's why I'm a big advocate of looking at the welfare state, because we need to really revamp it and we need to recalculate it soon because it's getting out of control. You have people more capable of working in this country that don't. But I digress. What's going on here is a sham. The Democrats are going to try to get some more allegations going, but I hope they are smart enough to realize that the American people aren't buying it. I mean, if they have more people come forward, at this point, it's a joke. Because you've had almost, I think, a month now where women would have came forward. And so somebody would say, well, why did you wait an extra month after these initial allegations? The problem is with the left is they go, well, it doesn't matter when they come forward. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because it shows that there might be some ulterior motive. That you're not being 100% honest, like Ford. I do believe Ford obviously was approached. It's obvious. The second she slipped up about the Google thing, right away I knew. I knew what was going on. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe this happened to her, but I don't believe it did at all. I believe this is a great con job by them, and unfortunately, the no flying didn't work, and the I want to keep my anonymity didn't work, and all these ploys they tried to do to get her to not to testify didn't work. And when she did testify, she totally fumbled it, because they realized even if the GOP had a woman cross-examiner or questioner, it didn't matter, that she would have to speak for herself. And the lawyers still chimed in, which I was amazed that Grassley didn't stop them and say, listen, we're talking to her. If you really need to answer a question, tell her, and then she'll tell us. We don't need you to interrupt. The thing is, this isn't a trial. It's a simple testimony. That's it. It's not a trial, but guess what? She perjured herself. Now, are they going to do anything about it? Of course not. Of course they're not going to do anything about it. It's sad. If it was a Republican sitting there, look at Mike Flynn. Supposedly lied to the FBI. Jail. I mean, it's ridiculous. But you have someone that obviously perjures themselves. It's right there. Anybody can go watch it. If you don't believe me, go watch it now. The permit was issued in 2008. She claimed in 2012 that she brought it up because she wanted to put an extra door on her front area of her house, and that's how it got brought up with the husband. That can't be true. The permit was issued in 2008. That's a lie. That's perjury. Okay? She perjured herself. But nothing's going to happen. Why? Because she fits the ideology. And Republicans lack of backbone. Excuse me. Lindsey Graham. I love Lindsey Graham, but he lacks a backbone as well. He's not going to sit there and do what needs to be done. He should have stopped right away and said, listen, what are you talking about? I'm looking at these facts right here. I don't understand how, when the door issue was brought up, how they didn't go look into that. They should have been, every Republican should have been looking at every piece of evidence or word she said at every media outlet, every single one. But they didn't. Why? Because they have no backbone. They're afraid of being called out. And that's what's sad. The fact is that people in this country are worried more about being called out by women and on the left than calling them out. It's very sad. I tweeted at Lindsey Graham, I said, it's time for it's a new age in politics. The politically correct attitude's got to go. It's sad. I don't understand why people don't get why Trump won. Trump won because he says it how it is. He doesn't care about your feelings. Yeah, sometimes the facts aren't lining up with him. He'll double check it, or he'll have someone, Sarah Sanders, correct it. But guess what? He's doing it for the right reasons. Ben Shapiro might not like him, but he gives him credit. Excuse me. He gives him credit where it's due, because that's what you're supposed to do. I didn't like Obama. I thought he was the worst president of all time. But I gave him credit where credit was due. He wasn't 100% wrong on everything. And anybody that says that, you can tell they're not a real political junkie or, a patriot. I don't want to say they're unpatriotic, but anybody that says a president or something or another is 100%, everything they do is bad, then they don't know what they're talking about. They're as bad as a liberal saying that Trump's a Nazi. You have to know the facts. And the facts are that Trump won because he wasn't politically correct. And that's what's wrong with the Congress. They want to act as if it's the 1990s and the early 2000s. Like a little tea, and we'll be nice and have little crumpets. Doesn't work that way anymore, folks. That's why Kavanaugh, in my opinion, got slaughtered. I mean, nobody stood up to those Democrats and said, you need to stop calling her a hero. She's not a hero. Okay? You're not a hero. I don't care. Any woman. You're not a hero because you go to the cops. Okay? You're not. You're doing what you have to do. A hero means they are going above and beyond for the self-sacrifice of themselves to benefit another. They're sacrificing their own self for something else. She didn't sacrifice herself. She's going to be fine. She's got GoFundMes, her lawyers are paid for. So I don't want any more of this, she's a hero stuff. She's not a hero. And anybody that says that is ridiculous. Maybe there is a small chance that she could have been sexually assaulted by somebody. But when you perjure yourself and you don't write your own opening statement, how can I believe you? Your credibility goes out the door, especially when everybody you claim that was there wasn't there. And your excuse was as well, She's sick. So, I wish her well. Doesn't answer the question why she would say that. You know, amazing how Mike Judge, everybody was told that Mike Judge had a drinking problem. And he wrote a fictional book. And he had Kavanaugh in there. And they acted like that was proof of something. They tried to make him out to be a drunk. Disgusting. And no Republican stopped to say, stop the slanderous claims. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like the FFF. I can't believe he asked that. And then Squee. I mean, everything that Kavanaugh said was stuff that we did in high school. We had funny words, we had funny nicknames, we had funny games. Okay? We played a game in high school called Uno Mas. Uno Mas. You know what it was? It was Flip Cup. But you know why we called it Uno Mas? Because the team that won could lose still if the opposite team said Uno Mas and didn't play the game. So, you know, you could say Uno Mas means one more girl. But, you know, this is the level of thinking of the liberals and the globalist elitists. But remember, folks, this is all part of a big plan. This has been going on for a long time. Trump totally derailed their plans. I mean, you got to remember we're entering in the 21st age of the internet where technology of the spy state is the highest it's ever been. I mean, we're worse now than when Snowden leaked that stuff. I mean, think about that. So this is not in the benefit of them to have Kavanaugh there, because in the future cases will be brought up to the Supreme Court about these issues. And if Kavanaugh's there, he's going to rule in the side of liberty and freedom and the American people. So I want people to remember what's going on here. Take a good, hard look at yourself. If you truly believe that she was sexually assaulted by Kavanaugh, then you're no good. You're no good. And you have a problem. And you really should stay off the internet. Because the facts are clear. Kavanaugh is a good man. He's never done anything like this. I welcome the FBI investigation, even though it's not worth a damn. It's just he said, she said. But I welcome it. Because it's just going to reaffirm what everybody already knows. But the Democrats will sure try to soil his name. Because that's what they're good at. Just remember, folks, this isn't over. The fight continues every day. I've been in politics, since 2003. It's the worst I've ever seen it right now. The worst. I've never seen it this bad. Where a good, decent man like that can go to be appointed and nominated and is slandered. Not only slandered, but his family's dragged through the mud. I mean, you had the other day someone wrote an article saying he shouldn't be allowed to coach girls basketball because he was accused. Think about that, folks. This is the level of insanity. It's slander, and I hope somebody does something about this with the articles, because that's slander. And those papers, online and off, need to be held accountable. I love this country. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but all I know is I'm not going to stop. The videos outside, I'm going to stand up for what's right, and I hope you do too. This is an important time. You cannot afford to be on the sidelines anymore. If you're watching this video, anytime you hear someone say something, and it's a good time to just speak up respectfully for what you believe in, and be cordial about it. Even if they're rude about it, you know what? Hey, at least you did something. At least you tried. And that's what's important in this world. You don't have to change minds, but at least you can go to bed at night saying, you know what? I did good. I stood up for what I believe in and what the country believes in. I'm a good person. And even if you're not a good person, you will become a good person over time by doing that every day. The big guy in the sky protects us all, people. Even if you don't believe in him, he believes in you. I love this country. I know you do too. Loyal Logic, talk to you soon.